Please be seated. Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. Miriam has agreed to read the parable. It's right back there, Miriam, on that chair. See it? You will be mic'd if you go read it from there.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go sit down.
Okay. Enjoy yourself.
I will.
Testing? Okay. I'll just have to. Is it? Okay. Jesus led the people up to the mountain and, in a symbolic gesture, offered each of his disciples a glazed donut. He encouraged them to reflect on the significance of the donut's missing center, like the incompleteness of a regular kingdom. Then he presented each follower with a perfect jelly donut, paralleling the idea of perfection and harmony in heaven. Donuts have holes. These holes are like the problems in normal kingdoms, but jelly donuts have no holes, just like God's kingdom has no problems. Plus, jelly donuts have tasty stuff inside them, just like God has good stuff inside.
Do you want me to preach on that? No. Yeah, you want me to preach on it? Ooh, wait, let's see. How am I going to preach on donuts? I mean, they're delicious. Donuts. So coming around, the kids worked really, really hard. So not only did they write the donut parable, but they also AI generated a picture. So I only printed 20 pictures, so there is a picture for every group of people. But there are enough prayer donuts for everybody, so everybody gets a donut. Oh, no, every family gets a picture, but there are enough donuts, I think, for everybody. Yeah, make sure you have enough donuts. All right, so I'm going to talk very, very briefly about all these things. One, they have done awesome work, and I really think it needs to be appreciated. The other thing that I do want to acknowledge our gospel a little bit, especially in the light of our current situation, because it's a tough gospel. I remember first hearing this gospel as a child. I went to Roman Catholic schools, and so I heard this gospel as a child for the first time. And it's a very troubling story, right? But I think what comes out of it that's most important for me is the way in which innocents are called upon to act out evil, and then therefore carry the blame for it. And what I'm going to talk about is a very tough topic. I acknowledge that, and so if this is something that for you is very pardon? No, I'm not talking about donuts. We're going to talk about evil and power and how power uses other people, but donuts are delicious too. Okay, so power, evil, when it has power, will often act itself out in other ways. And my friends, we are living in a time where we are reaping the evil that power has instilled within us. So systems of power will not usually act out themselves. They make someone else do it. And I think this is really, really important when we run into racism and gender issues and stuff like that. I was sitting in a meeting not that long ago Actually, it wasn't even me. I was sitting with somebody, and they were defending why it makes sense that women only make 75 cents on the dollar. And they said it's women's fault. It's because they can't get along. You hire multiple women, and they bicker and they fight, and they do all these things. And I said, well, that's because that's how systems of power act, right? And I was in another situation, and this is going to be very, very troubling, and I acknowledge that what I'm saying is troubling. It was after there had just been police brutality and a shooting of a black man, and somebody said, well, I don't see why it matters. They kill each other all the time. Yes. 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 We ran out of we don't have quite enough pictures, but we have plenty of donuts. And in the light of what happened yesterday, and bringing it up to speed, just in case you haven't heard the news, there was an assassination attempt on Mr. Trump. And somebody else was killed. The assassin person seeking the violence was killed as well. Mr. Trump was harmed. But sometimes, and it's easy to focus on the person who did it, right? In the same way that we focus on Herodias, the daughter. Well, it's her fault. These women, it's their fault because they called for the death of John the Baptist, right? Perfect. We have plenty. But I want us to always be willing to look deeper. I want us always to look deeper, to see where this violence and this hate truly comes from. And how are you and I perpetuating? Because what it ends up being like whack-a-mole. We blame, right? We blame victims. We just blame where it comes out, right? Instead of doing the hard inner work that you and I are called to do that says, where is racism really coming from? Where is violence really coming from? Where are we struggling so much that we learn to hate one another? That we hate one another so deeply that we dehumanize. And when we dehumanize, we'll deliver a head on a platter because it doesn't seem like it matters. It's not a real person anymore. It doesn't matter what we do. They're doing it to each other all the time. It doesn't matter if there's a shooting of a politician we do or don't like, right? We've dehumanized Biden. We've dehumanized Trump. We've dehumanized entire groups of people, all because we simply disagree. And when we move from simply disagreeing to hate, what we can do with hate is evil. But then we have someone else do it. Then suddenly it's just a crazy 20-year-old guy who knows what happened to him. He's nuts. It's a mental health problem. It's a this, it's that. It's Herodias, that crazy girl, right? What was she doing? But it's the system that produced a young man willing to kill someone he knew nothing about. Because whether or not you like a politician, most of us are not intimately aware of them, are we? We're not. They represent something. And sometimes they represent our hate. The reality is, this is not something that someone else is to blame for. This is something that we've all bred. We are all guilty of leading to a world of violence. And I don't have the answers. I don't, because it's taken us such a long time to get to this place. But I will tell you, in the kingdom of God, In the kingdom of God, there's so much. There's so much love and grace and joy and jelly-filled donuts that we're not missing that piece that causes us to love and understand the humanity of every single person. Whether or not you agree with me, whether or not you even like me all the time, and I get it, I'm a hard person to like all the time. God bless, but so are you. It's not just me. Yeah, I know. Nate's like, yeah. That's different. That is different than hate. Because the reality is we're all human. We are all human. And when we really truly see each other for who we really truly are, we see the donuts and there's no hole. And not just jelly donuts, they're Bismarck donuts and they're chocolate-filled donuts and cream-filled donuts.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe
those are
to
yours.
receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.